Hello everybody, welcome back to another Fecal Gamer YT Speaks video, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that is probably in the highest regard right now. How Hypixel Skyblock's new game mode Stranded basically saved the game in like one of the best ways it could have. And I'm going to be talking about how that happened and why it's going to be important to this channel's hopefully new uprise, because I'm really excited to see where this channel can go off of Stranded, as that was what I grew with to begin with. So yeah, guys, before this video starts, hopefully you do enjoy the video, as I put quite a bit of time into making this video and kind of typing out the script for what I need to say. And, yeah, with that out of the way, though, let's begin. So, how did Stranded come about, really? Well, Stranded came from an idea that a well-known Skyblock YouTuber, 30virus, had. Well, technically, Omicron had it, but then 30 asked if he could play the game mode, and then that kind of spawned into the idea. So what turned from a desperate idea into the game mode? Well, in 30's case, he was struggling with content because Skyblock had been so repetitive, where it was basically the same process of playing dungeons all the time to try and just like level up 2% in stats, which honestly I can feel the burn of as well. Trying to get to catted 24 has been a nightmare, because it's really just it's 2% extra stats, man. I gotta grind 10 hours for that 2%. It just it burns on you real quick. So I could see where 30's coming from. So he asked the admins if he could add the Stranded Hypixel Skyblock mode. Now, this had been in developer talk ever since like June of 2020. And yeah, that's over 2 years. So almost the time it took Hypixel Skyblock to release Dungeons, we're talking here. So, yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. But then in just like as of almost 5 or 6 days ago, Hypixel Skyblock Stranded was released after it had been worked on by an admin for nearly like the entirety of Christmas, which is actually pretty crazy. And 30 got on the hype immediately, as it was his game mode, and he was able to receive his second creative mind. Now that's the backstory of Stranded. Now it's time to get into how Stranded saved Hypixel Skyblock. So Stranded is this new game mode, and by new I mean it's like baby new. We can still call the Dwarven Mines new, because anything that's less than a year old, or anything that's a year old in Hypixel Skyblock, is still considered new. So yeah, the Dwarven Mines, the Crystal Hollows is still considered fresh. And oh gosh, that lag is killing me. So we can still call the Crystal Hollows fresh. We can still call the Dwarven Mines considerably fresh. So yeah, it's all definitely fresh. But how does Stranded compare to any other mode in Hypixel Skyblock? Well, it's not just a mindless update. The developers actually took the time to make Skyblock a whole new system, and that is why it's been blowing up in popularity over these last few days. Skyblock's player count doubled ever since the release of Stranded, which says a lot about the development power over at Hypixel. But what differs between releasing a new dungeons floor in Hypixel Skyblock, which is technically considered an update, while it might not seem huge, it still is considered an update at the end of the day, and the new game mode Stranded? Well, Stranded was new. Stranded wasn't just a retexture of an old system that we had seen before in Hypixel Skyblock. It was actually something new and exciting. It wasn't something we had ever seen before. Some people had attempted to make a version of that game, and you know, it was just all around something that was completely new, something that was completely fresh. No one really knew what to do, and that's why it skyrocketed in popularity, because it was something new, something fresh. No one knew how to do it. And when people don't know how to do it, they're going to start to play it more and figure it out, which boosts the player count, plus boosts Hypixel's wallet, which means the more active concurrent players on Skyblock is the more people that are going to make videos. Plus, with the new drive for player counts, the view counts of other YouTubers' videos will just continue to boost the popularity of Hypixel. The Stranded whole retexture was desperately needed, as Hypixel Skyblock was seeing new lows that it had not seen since its concurrent rise in 2021, which had been nearly at 200,000 players. Nearly 110,000 of those were on Hypixel during the Dante saga. So yeah, Hypixel Skyblock definitely needed a good refresher, and Stranded was what brought that. It's got a ton of new systems, and the best part is it's not something you can sweat out in a day and just complete. It's going to take a bit. It all has different play styles. It's something that's new, refreshing. It's going to get people on their toes again. There's going to be new strategies developed for Stranded because it's this new game mode, and you don't start out immediately with access to the hub, and you have to kind of figure out these systems. Like, you have to get an auto smelter for a wood minion to get coal, and you have to fish with 1 bucket of water until you can get a fish minion. Instead of buying the 80 fish it takes or buying the minion outright from someone else, it takes a lot more thought in how to do things, which ultimately Skyblock is about. When Skyblock was released in 2019, a lot of people were playing the game. Not because it was a retexture of like Bed Wars or something, which is technically just a retexture of Sky Wars, in my opinion. Bed Wars is just protecting your bed and combating people. Sky Wars is just basically PvPing people in the sky, which Bed Wars took huge inspiration from. But Skyblock, at its core on Hypixel, was a completely new and really cool design because people did not know how to play it. It wasn't like any Skyblock we had ever seen before as a community and as like a whole fan base of Hypixel. It was something new. No one had ever seen it. It was basically just this new kid on the block, and it rose to be one of the most well-known Skyblocks ever to exist. And I can't wall run to freaking save my life either. Looks like I can't PvP either. But the newness of Hypixel Skyblock and the updates it brought with it as well. The Dungeons update was new and it brought hype to the game. It's just like when Hypixel puts out something new, they're going to reap rewards. And Hypixel needs to take the idea of Stranded, and they need to make game modes, because Iron Man was a retexture of the Hypixel game mode just without Bazaar and Auction House. Stranded, no. Stranded was a completely new design of Skyblock that had, once again, was never seen before. It took the classic idea of Skyblock and added Hypixel textures to it, which you could make the argument, yes, that is what Hypixel Skyblock at its root is, but I think this is even better, because this is where you can't leave your island, and that is classic Skyblock there. You can't leave your island in classic Skyblock, and there's no outside world. You're stuck on that one block, and you're stuck on that little island, and you have to progress with what is around you. There is no and, if, or buts about it. That is what Skyblock is. And Hypixel just added their own textures to it and made it like one of the most popular games to date in the Java Minecraft space. And it just so happens that they were able to become one of the biggest servers because of that. If Hypixel in the future can take what they've learned here and make themselves into somewhat of a newer ideas and keep refining ideas into new game modes that people will actually play, instead of just trying to make more dungeons floors like they did with like master mode and stuff, people will actually come and play the game, because all they saw before Stranded was, oh, just get to M7, or just get to M6, and then the Cata 50 grind begins. Now it's like you can play different games. You don't need to make a game Hypixel for one audience. There's no one-size-fits-all in the Hypixel Skyblock community. You need to make it to where many people have many different enjoyments of the game. Now there are more ideas. There's the grinds for for the hub, there's the money buyers, there's the stranded buyers, and you just need to keep expanding the audience. You don't need to cater just to one audience. It's like in the food business. You don't just cater to one audience of food. You cater to a ton of audiences because that is how you get the most substantial growth. And that exactly is what Hypixel needs to do, because Hypixel could get to 100,000 concurrent players on Skyblock if they just continue to do what they did for Stranded. If they can continue to push out new, exciting, non-retexturable content, then they are going to grow tenfold. I can just see it if Hypixel will put the drive into making the good content for the players, and not only for the players, but for the YouTubers as well, because with Stranded is going to come a ton of tutorials, and I've already worked up a tutorial video as well. As of recording this, I'm already recording 2 videos back to back. This is how much motivation Skyblock has brought me as a whole, and I am enjoying this. So yeah, and with that's going to come stream highlights of the first streams, which by the way, those will come out later on in the weeks coming. And it's crazy how much stuff and opportunities happens, not only for Hypixel themselves, but for new and upcoming YouTubers like me and friends I know. So yeah, this is why Hypixel, if you just make new content, it opens doors for a lot of people, not me and myself included. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video of why Stranded Hypixel Skyblock saved Hypixel from the ever-recurring darkness of a faded obscurity. So yeah, guys, hopefully you did enjoy. And I'll see you guys in the next video after I scored this goal, because I don't want to end off on that. So let's go ahead. The video will end once, oh. How do I do this? I'm just going to end the video. I'll tell you if I scored on Discord. So yeah, guys, I'll see ya. Peace.